So we all have those stories, right? The ones that are humiliating, cringeworthy, and make it so you never want to show your face in public again. Some of us have these stories on TV. Imagine that. My next guest wants to remind us, my next guests, I should say, want to remind us that you will likely laugh about it later. Britt Johnson and Alyson Croft are hosts of the KSL podcast Gabfest. I mean, the name says it all. Hi, ladies. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
I should say you're sisters.
Yes.
And best friends. And you've always, I imagine, I have to imagine, had this tendency to find laughter in life.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I mean, I think it helps because we come from a long line of hilarious women who the crazy things happen to. We're like magnets for these crazy things. And so we've always just been forced, basically, to find, and born and bred really, to find the humor in it, because what else do you do?
I love
like, you can't curl up in a ball and die.
I mean, yeah, what are the options?
You either have to laugh or cry about it, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
You've got a choice. I love that you gave nod to your family history in the most irreverent way. It's the best.
That's our family. We're pretty irreverent.
It's the best. So who came up with this idea for a podcast around these kind of stories?
Yeah.
Oh, I think because anytime we get together with our family or friends, it's just constant, oh my gosh, listen to what just happened to me. Or we'll call each other and say, I can't believe what just happened at the store.
Right.
And I thought we might as well make use of it. We're having these conversations anyway, and let's get other people in on the fun.
How are you finding stories though?
Every episode we tend to sprinkle in our own. For some reason, we have stories on every single topic.
Well, that's kind of what inspires like the episode subject sometimes. It's stuff that's happened to us. We're like, there's got to be more people out there that have these types of things happening to them, and it inspires an episode.
So each episode has a theme.
Yes.
Give me some examples of themes.
Oh gosh, we've done everything from bad dates, terrible wedding stories, family reunions, clothing mishaps,
Weddings, back to school. It runs the gamut, really. I mean, we have over 100 episodes.
Right.
Wow.
And we repeat some topics, like our most favorites, like the bad dates sometimes. But in general, we try to come up with as many fresh ones as we can.
Can you each give me an example of one of these stories that you Gabfest about that has stood out to you as totally laughable and memorable? What's one that comes to mind?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of my favorite stories is one of our listeners was going to college out of state.
Okay.
And so she was dating a guy pretty seriously and went home for Christmas. And the thing is they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. What's the opposite saying of that?
Absence.
Yeah, absence makes you realize you don't need them.
Yeah. Basically, that's what happened to her. So she came home like fully intending, I'm gonna break up with him.
Oh no.
He picked her up at the airport, immediately knew something's wrong. You're breaking up with me. So she just has to lay it all out there right there, and then they have to have the awkward drive to his parents' house because she had left her car and a bunch of her belongings at the parents' house.
No.
It just so happens that her birthday was over that holiday break. And when she walked in to her boyfriend's parents' house, surprise!
No!
And they had a full-on like surprise party for her. Cake, candles, and he comes storming in after, yelling, "It's fine. She just broke up with me."
Oh my gosh.
And the whole family
was like, "Oh,
horrifying.
Tears, sadness." Not only that, but
the balloon started to deflate in front of their
along
eyes.
with his heart. And so the worst part about it though is as she was trying to leave and like load her things, the dad felt bad as trying to like help her, but kind of like, you just dumped my son.
Right. I don't like you, but I'm trying to be kind.
Right. Her car was dead.
Oh my gosh. It keeps going.
It's a movie. It's a movie. Like it's what you see in a movie. So anyway, that is probably one that sticks out in my mind because it feels so outrageous.
Yes.
That it's how can it be real?
I know. Do we like these stories for their outrageousness, or do we like them because they make us feel better about ourselves, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
It's called trauma bonding.
Trauma bond.
In the best way.
All right, serve up one of your favorites.
So this listener, she told us about a time that she was doing the rope swing up at Bloomington Lake up in northern Utah, and it's frigid water. So she gets up the courage, rope swings into the lake, and emerges, just so proud of herself that she did it. She sees her husband like waving her down, saying like emergency, and she's going, I wonder what's going on.
She really like scramble up rocks.
Yeah, it was a little bit of treacherous coming out. Anyway, she looks down and her swimsuit top has come all the way down.
Oh no.
And
she
she just looks off to the side right there on the beach, and it's a troop of Boy Scouts.
Oh no. There's no merit badge for that.
Actually, there might be.
They came home wiser, and that's the lesson we can take.
Right.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, time for one more. Give us one more.
Oh gosh. Well, we wanted to ask you though.
Oh no.
About
Do you have any on-air
ones? Like your worst experience on air. You
pick
seem
a
like you would just
day.
have it all together, though. You're probably like, just roll with it and no one knows that you did
No,
anything
you guys
embarrassing.
pick a day. You know, there was one time, and it's maybe, well, I was gonna say it's less about me, but I think how I handled it was horribly horrible. But I guess for the most part, I mean, you get here, it's chatty. I hope you felt that warm vibe today. But there was I can remember where I was standing. I remember what I was wearing. I remember she just didn't talk. There were just no words. I mean, sometimes this is a scary thing, right? And I went into this game of charades, like trying to help, because I mean, something had to happen. So I was like,
3 words.
sounds like,
Once.
what? Yeah, exactly, yeah. I was trying to prompt her in an animated way, and it just, I think of that and I cringe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to laugh about it yet. Like, it's still PTSD.
We're all laughing. We're all laughing.
You know, we have an episode though that is all about stage fright moments, like people getting up, freezing, or doing something really crazy because they got nervous.
You know what? I went into this conversation thinking, how do they have a whole podcast about that? Now I'm leaving this conversation thinking 10 more seasons in front of me. Like, there's so much to talk about.
And honestly, we wouldn't be able to even run it without, it's like such a community because we have to have people's stories to even have an episode.
Right.
So we've created like this relationship with our gabbers, is what we call our
gabbers,
our
the
listeners.
best.
And that way we actually have content. Without them, we wouldn't have content. We have our funny stories.
Sure.
But they bond with us because they're like, we get you. And then they're bonding with each other because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that peed my pants at the park as a full-grown adult. You know.
There's another topic. I can feel this energy. I can feel the fun. We're so happy to have you part of the KSL podcast family. How do we listen, guys? How do we listen?
So it's available on any podcast platform. You can also go to the KSL podcast website. Just look for Gabfest podcast. We also are on Instagram, Gabfest_gals.
Okay.
And we put our prompts up every week on what stories we're collecting. So that's one of the easiest ways to get involved in the fun and submit your stories. And we link our episode there on the Instagram as well.
Sometimes you just need a light laugh to mix up all of the other heavy podcast topic content out there. So Britt Johnson, Alyson Croft, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
We'll be listening.
We hope you're going to be a gabber.
And laughing. I will gab. I will gab.